we're going to be going over how to fix your wizard if it ever gives you any kind of error messages. So people who, if you're not familiar with what a wizard is, basically it is the program inside of your build that feeds your build the full build updates. So like whenever you click on, the pop-up to update your build, if you ever get an error there, or if it ever just times out or does something weird, basically you need to find the wizard. And that's really a narrow definition of what it does. I mean, it does a ton of stuff. You can use it to save things and transfer things over. You can use it to clean up your build. You can use it to troubleshoot and read the error log. So if you ever get an error pop up, so there's a lot of things that you can do with this little wizard. It's been a while since I've been in this build, sorry. I'm used to using the Dominus, which has this, but it has two other builds. Alright, so I'm just going to go in the old school way. The surefire way to get through is just click directly on the word system, click on add-ons, click my add-ons, scroll down, click on program add-ons, and we are looking for CDTV wizard right here. So we aren't going to click it. What we're going to do is we're going to click our menu button, or we're going to long press on this, and we're going to click settings. We're going to come down here, so keep on scrolling down, and we're going to click defaults. But before we do that, I just want to point out that you want to double check this to make sure it gets set back up right. So what I would do is I would go through these little sections and sort of take pictures, but really if you're watching this video, I'm going to walk you through it right now, the correct settings. Alright, so for future reference, definitely when you click the defaults, you're going to want to set this back up. You might want to take some pictures or write some things down, but let's go ahead and do that this time. Let's go ahead and we're going to click defaults. I hate doing stuff like this. And then click OK. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click our menu button, or long press it, click settings, and we're going to come in here. I like it to where, and it never does it, but I always change this to force close. I'm hoping that I've had one build where it actually did that automatically. It force closed it, which would be cool because it would save you that final step. So you could literally just click update, or click fresh install, click continue, and then just go about your business, go to work. And when you came home, everything would be closed out. You would just click on your build. Well, anyways, getting back to the point, this is a 17.3 fork of Kodi that we're using right now, so it only can use Krypton 17. So I clear out all these other builds just so it'll make it easier for you guys. So hopefully you won't click the wrong builds. Alright, so we got the auto clean automatically set up in here. I changed this down here to 3 days. If you're running low on storage space constantly, you're going to want to make this always. But if you don't have an issue with that, 3 days is good, because you really don't need to be cleaning up that much. Your device actually runs faster when it has those thumbnails in there. It doesn't have to constantly keep on re-downloading them. You know when you click on an add-on and you have to wait for it to get the thumbnails? That basically that process continues to happen over and over again when you have it set on always, and that slows down the process. Alright, so right here, this is important. If you still have your sources, we're going to go ahead and assume you do. We're going to click those. We're going to click Keep My Favorites, Keep My Sources. We're going to click Advanced Settings. And whitelist add-ons. So this is what you want right here. You can take a picture of this one for sure. This one will come in handy. I guarantee it. There's some people that say don't ever use your sources, but if you see how much time that we put into the sources, there's no way in heck I'm leaving those sources. We have like hundreds of builds. It's yeah, it's massive. Alright, so we're into the save section. So if you use tracked right here, go ahead and click track. Scroll to the right. If you use reel to grid, click reel to grid. If you have an IPTV service like Smooth Streams or Players Club or something like that, looks like this one doesn't have Players Club in there, but go ahead and click on that if you have a paid subscription. I don't really know if this works, but this is really just a personal preference. If you want it to show adult add-ons, but this isn't going to affect your build at all, so don't expect this to keep your kids safe or anything like that. Let's go ahead and disable this notification on startup, because that has been coming up a lot. Leave all this as is so we can get those logs if we ever need to. Alright, so that is good to go, my friends. We got Krypton 17 here. We got auto clean set up for 3 days. We got our sources, our favorites, our advanced settings, and our whitelist add-ons. We've got our tracked, we've got a reel to grid, login information saving to where we don't have to constantly enter that in every time we update our build. And now, most importantly, we're going to click OK. Alright, so one more thing that I want to do is I want to actually get into the whitelist and make sure it did that. So this time we're going to click on CDTV Wizard, and we're going to go ahead and open it. Hopefully this will work for you. If it works here, then it's good to go. Alright, so we are going to click Save Data. We are going to come down here and we are going to click View My Whitelist. And just make sure that you have your whitelist still set up. It should be set up, but it always scares me when I click defaults. I just want to double check and make sure. And actually, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So these add-ons are no longer performing as intended. So let's go ahead and get rid of Neptune Rising, Uranus, Placenta. Those are dead add-ons. So let's go to edit my whitelist. So wherever you find Uranus, Neptune Rising, and Placenta, they should be towards the top, sort of in alphabetical order, but not really. So they are in alphabetical. So starting right here, they're in alphabetical order, and up in this section You'll find all three of them. When you're done with that, go ahead and scroll up to the top and click where it says click here to continue. Let's view my whitelist one more time. I see some repos we need to get rid of. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do it right. Let's go ahead and get rid of the One Nation repo, Fire TV Guru repo. If you've had your device for over 6 months, pretty much click everything that says repo in it, because that is pretty much a safe bet that within 6 months. Well, I take that back. If it's a like Supreme Builds repo, that's the same. But any repo that has add-ons in it also. Fire TV Guru repo. Where'd it go? One Nation. Let's go ahead and click that. Alright, so we're going to, once again, we're going to click where it says click here to continue. And let's view it one more time. Alright, so we've got our resolvers, we've got our scrapers. If you have auto runs, that's important. And just want to make sure that whatever we have in here is working. And these are all working, so that's fine. So close, and that is it. Hopefully that helped. Most importantly, hopefully you're able to update your build now. If not, definitely reach out to us. Let's go ahead and check this. So just in case, what you'll need is these sources. So let's go down to system whenever my build unfreezes. I'm going to go down here, I'm going to click on File Manager and just make sure that you have your sources in here. I think I'm frozen. There we go. Alright, so in the system section, scroll down, click on File Manager, and just scroll down and make sure that you have some builds to work with. Alright, that is good to go. Reach out to me if you need any help at all. That should do it though. The defaults, that fixes a lot of things.